Episode 11, Crime of Passion. Police report for June 1st, Officer Harvey Bullock. Responding to reports of a murder, I arrived at Burgerduff's department store, a high-end place that only the snobbiest of snobs ever frequented. Upon my arrival, I noticed that over a dozen uniforms were patrolling the area. Glass covered the concrete from the main display case, and what looked at first to be a mannequin walking a dog turned out in fact to be a dead man. I, taking charge, quickly directed the officers to conduct a thorough investigation. A few moments into the investigation, Police Commissioner James Gordon approached in one of the squad cars.
Hey, Commish, didn't expect you out here with the Joker running around.
I'm not about to sit in my office waiting for that madman to strike. Without Batman, we're running blind.
Listen to yourself. You act like that freak's the only one who can do anything in this town. And besides, he's the wanted man himself.
Let's not let politics ruin our friendship. What do you got?
It's a single homicide. Guy got posed by the killer. Would've sworn it was the Joker's handiwork, but there ain't no smile.
That's a lot of blood, sicko.
Well, it ain't all the victims, let me tell you.
Who was the other person?
We don't know yet. Emmy's trying to run tests, but the blood's all mixed up with something, over my head.
What do we know about the victim?
His name's Bill Martin. He's a clerk at Burgerduff's. Went missing maybe 4 hours ago, roughly. His wife filled out a missing persons report, but the responding officer had nothing to go off except for her story.
Clearly the wife was on to something. What did she have to say?
Just that he didn't come home. That it didn't seem like him to not call or something. Martin's record is clean as a whistle, so fact you could eat off of it. Not even a parking citation, I tell you. How this guy got around. I'm surprised the officer didn't do more digging just to make sure there weren't any errors.
Has anyone touched the body?
Nah, yeah, why?
The man's shirt was cut open, and these wounds are so deep there's bruising from the hilt of the knife. It's a curved S shape.
You think we can get an ID for the weapon?
A sketch to get us started.
Jesus! The wounds are everywhere over him. Whoever did this is some kind of sadist. Ain't no way this guy died right away. None of his organs would have been hit.
Blood loss. The killer wanted to savor the man's death.
None of the regulars work like that. You don't think?
We got ourselves a new boy in the game. It looks like he did it all right here, given the amount of blood. We need to put out a bulletin.
For what? A psycho who likes to stab people? It's Gotham. That describes half the population.
Have the ME work with a sketch artist. Get an idea for what the knife looks like. Have uniforms check around the area. Chances are someone will recognize something that distinct.
If it ain't freaks dressing up like frickin' rodents, we got people getting their giggles watching blood pour like water. I tell you, only Gotham.
What was that, detective?
I'm just stating the obvious, sir. Just the obvious.
Commissioner, any comment at this time on this tragedy?
Hey, look, we ain't got nothing to say to you, lady.
What my colleague means to say is that the police are not prepared to issue a statement at this time.
A few hours later, Jim and I found ourselves standing in the GCPD morgue. A floor completely contained to itself down in the basement of the building. It was kept constantly cool to preserve the bodies. A thin, wispy man named Lionel Tompkins, the head medical examiner, led us through the hallway, giving us instructions and information about the body.
Well, a preliminary examination indicated that the man had been dead for only 3 hours upon discovery. Judging by the lividity and rigor.
Anything on the body from the killer? Fingerprints. Something that we can use material-wise? Did you at least identify the other blood sample?
Let's take a look. As you can see, except for a few severe stab wounds, the body is in pristine condition. I would venture to say that the wounds occurred roughly at the same time of each other.
This was some kind of ritual. Bet me $1 million.
What makes you say that?
Guy stabs another man this many times means one or two things. He either knows him and is mad as sin, or he's getting instructions from his Looney Tune friends.
What about the blood sample?
Unfortunately, there wasn't enough to run a proper analysis, I'm afraid.
I don't get it. Where'd the blood come from? Martin wasn't no big guy, and there ain't any bruising. He doesn't seem to put up much of a struggle. How would the killer have gotten hurt?
You said it yourself. This was a ritual.
Huh?
What if this was all part of some kind of act? The killer hurts himself to connect with the victim. Makes it more real. His blood was even mixed with the victim's. Maybe it's a way of bonding?
Oh my!
Why can't we just get a regular case for once? Guy needs money, robs a bank, bada boom, bada bing. Easy, simple. Instead, we get these Looney Tune crazy wackos who gotta leave their mark on the world. If you're right, Jim, then this guy has to have a record.
Come on, let's check with Blackgate.
Why not Arkham? That fits with those kind of people.
There haven't been any breakouts there since the Joker 3 weeks ago.
This guy could have broken out long before then.
Then why would he wait this long to strike? Everything suggests Martin was a random target. This guy strikes people out of some psychotic desire.
Oh, this just gets better and better.
It was nearly 2 p.m. Jim and I headed back to his office. He pulled out a binder filled with names of inmates who had been released, and we began to review through the files.
I never knew how many of these creeps were released every month.
We need to find someone who fits the profile. What about him, Chucky Saul?
Saul? Nah, he's a low-level guy. Put him away for counterfeit a few weeks ago. Killing ain't his style. He can't even stand the sight of blood. What about this guy, Garfield Lins? Broke out a few weeks ago.
No, Officer Montoya caught him the other night. Attempted arson.
That Montoya sure is a spitfire, ain't she?
Well, she's on her way to becoming a detective.
Look at this skullhead. He's got a face only a mother could love. Yeesh.
Zaz, Victor, arrested for connections to the murder of 3 men suspected of belonging to the Thorn Mob, aggressive personality, and mood swings. He was in the process for a transfer to Arkham.
Yeah, what happened to him?
He broke out 3 days ago. Dr. Strange was supposed to be visiting him to perform an interview. He killed the guards who were trying to transfer him.
Yeah, you think he's that guy?
He certainly seems to be the type. Officer, can I help?
Commissioner, we have reports of a triple homicide in Otisburg.
Set up a crime scene and have officers keep the public back. Don't say anything to the reporters, especially Vale, until I get there. We don't want a panic.
Got it.
Any idea if it's the Bergdorf killer?
Don't know. Reports said the victims were posed, like they were taking a family photo.
Thank you.
Great, all family.
Maybe the killer slipped up. Gordon here. What is it? The report just came in. What? Give me the details. Understood. Keep everyone back. We need all the evidence we can get.
What is it?
There's been another body found in the Thomas and Martha Wayne Memorial Park. A woman, mid-20s, stabbed 37 times. A man jogging found her. She was posed as if she was sitting under one of the park's bridges.
That's on the opposite end of town. How could the killer be in 2 places at once?
He couldn't have. It was 2 different attacks. You take the Otisburg killings, and I'll take the park.
By the time I reached the park, it was already getting dark. The Thomas and Martha Wayne Memorial Park was one of the worst places in the entire city. One, because it was filled with vagrants, ne'er-do-wells, and the worst of Gotham City. The second reason was because it had been so poorly kept up. Because it had been so difficult to patrol, no one dared go into the park, especially at nighttime. As I arrived in my car, Jim was issuing orders to the other officers.
I want the report on my desk ASAP. Bullock, now what's wrong?
I just got finished with the scene in Otisburg. We think it was the Joker. The entire family had rectus grins.
Now we have 2 lunatics running around killing people.
Oh, it's a lot worse than that. Look at this note.
No one upstages this clown prince. You know, of course, this means war. Gotham will learn what kind of hack the Burgerduff killer is when I'm done.
Done. He saw the news broadcast.
Looks like he ain't none too happy that someone beat him to the punchline.
Now we have to clean up the mess that Vale left for us. If the Joker's involved, there's going to be more bodies. We need to get the SWAT team ready.
How about you? You find anything out here?
It's the same as before. A random woman, stab wounds, and blood. She bled out like Martin. Shayla Fran, a working girl.
We know to tear this park down. Ain't nothing but a cesspool. It's getting so bad even police can't patrol it.
Not now. We've got more important things to worry about.
Alright. I'm gonna head back to the station and get that SWAT team started.
Good idea. I'll finish up here.
While I headed off to go get that SWAT team organized, I figured Jim had a few words to say to his caped friend.
Jim, do you have any leads?
Do you know how dangerous it is for you? If anyone sees you, I'll have to arrest you.
They won't. Your leads.
Just one. Victor Zsasz. But we've stretched so thin with the Joker now that I'm not sure we'll be able to handle both Zsasz and him. I'm not even sure it's him. All I have is the report from Blackgate.
It's Zsasz. Take a look at the file Strange had on him.
He has tally marks across his body?
One for each of his victims.
Now he's trying to add to his count. He's out of his mind. We have to stop him. But where do we even start? He doesn't have any living relatives.
3441 Addison Street. He's using it as a hideout.
How did... Never mind. The less I know, the less I have to explain. I don't have the manpower to take him down.
I'll take care of the Joker. Take Bullock. The 2 of you should be able to handle Zsasz.
Batman, be careful. I can't protect you if you're seen. We have direct orders from the mayor. Batman, I hate it when he does that.
A few hours later, Jim came to the GCPD. He told me that he had gotten an anonymous tip and that I should come with him as backup. We got into his car and drove off down the road. It began to rain, and we had to turn on the windshield wipers, sending little speckles of water left and right. I figured this was a good time to bring up his anonymous tip.
I hate to tell you how to do your job.
Like that stopped you before.
Hey, cool it, will you? I just mean, shouldn't you be heading the search for the Joker and all?
Montoya took the lead. There's not really much we can do besides that. We need to stop this Zsasz character before he gets any more attention. Right now, the press doesn't know for sure that there are 2 killers on the loose. With luck, we can wrap this up before it gets any worse.
I sure hope it's worth risking both our skins for, Commish.
It will be. Have a little faith.
I would be a little more confident if you'd tell me who gave you this tip.
The source is good.
Yeah, did your source have pointy ears and fly?
What are you getting at, Detective?
Oh, for the love of horse manure, you're kidding me, right? The Batman, really? When are you gonna learn that nutjob isn't worth the trouble?
The Batman isn't the problem.
Yeah, tell it to that reporter, Vanessa, Valerie, what was the name?
Vicky Vale.
Yeah, that's the one. He beat her something fierce. I mean, I know it's Gotham. Broads are getting beat all the time, but that don't make it right. Especially someone like her. She was just minding her business.
You don't find it a little suspicious that the Batman, who, by the way, has a reputation for not killing, decided to try and murder Vale? Mind you, she's less than half his size, and he wasn't able to finish the job? Something just doesn't sit right.
Or maybe you're letting your idealism get in the way of facts. Facts, like at least 3 eyewitnesses, including Vale, identified him at the scene. Facts, like he has a reputation for beating the snot out of criminals so bad that when we go to find them, we can't tell who they are. It don't matter if you're Mr. Freeze or some 2-bit robber trying to pay your rent. Batman comes after you, chances are that's the last time you ever eaten solid food.
I don't know if you opened your eyes, detective, but Gotham isn't exactly the safest city. Besides, you have a history with internal affairs for your less than cordial approach.
Yeah, well, there's the difference. I got someone hounding me to make sure I stay in line. Christ knows they could learn to loosen up just a little. But the Batman, he don't got no one to stop him. We can't even find him most of the time. How are we supposed to trust a guy we can't even find?
I don't know what to tell you. You either do or you don't. Nothing I say is gonna change that. But you listen to me. So long as I'm in charge, we do things my way.
You're breaking my heart, Commish. I'm getting all doughy-eyed just listening to you.
We're here.
What a dump.
Looks abandoned.
I guess we stake the place out for a while. See if our boy shows up.
God, I hate stakeouts.
Yeah, you see, Commish, some of the best police work is done when you know just how to sit on your butt.
I must have forgotten.
Don't worry, it's like riding a bike. You'll pick it up again.
It wasn't long before we saw the thin frame of Victor Zsasz approaching the decrepit building. Jim spotted him first.
That's him! Come on, let's go!
Jim rushed out and opened the trunk of the car.
Talk about packing. You expecting a man or an elephant?
He's killed 5 people already. We don't play with murderers.
The two of us began wading through the large puddles that had formed from the rain. As we approached the building, we noticed that the door was locked.
Up or down?
We go.
There, little piggy. Oh God, it bleeds so nicely. I can already feel where the mark will go on my skin. Please, please, don't do this. No, don't. Oh, poor piggy. You're already dead. You just don't know it yet. Let's see. I think how about I start here?
Move!
It's a maze. Where is he?
Oh, yes. There's the spot. Bleed for me. Bleed for me. Now you're breathing all right. Can you feel it? Pain. My skin. It hungers to be open. And you've helped me so much, my little piggy. I crave this feeling a moment just before the light leaves the piggy's eyes. Oh, the anticipation, the tension, the excitement, before the blade tears my skin. Yes, there you go. There you go. Yes! Don't worry, piggy. I saved a special spot just for you.
Freeze! GCPD, drop the knife!
More piggies! All for me!
We never thought to check our backs.
There you go. Just go on and die. I'll take the gun from you. And Bullock, sit your fat carcass down.
You! Oh, you. Killing you would be like killing thousands of giggling, squealing piggies.
You miserable mound of filth. You try and steal the show from me, and then think you can kill me. I'll show you who runs this town.
The Joker sauntered to the wall. And out fell Batman.
I don't have time to play Batman. so you can watch a true master at work. Or die. I don't really care today.
Batman, Jim, and I sat gasping for pain. The Joker tossed the gun just out of reach of Jim.
Personally, I prefer using a knife. You worthless hack. You think you know how to paint. I promise you, compared to me, you're nothing but a pathetic imitation.
I'll watch you bleed so slowly. I'm going to bathe in your blood, the Clown Prince's blood. I'll be born anew. Here, Piggy, Piggy, Piggy.
Oh, you poor fool. I'll rip you to pieces. There won't be anything left but paste. I'll start with your feet, cut off an inch at a time, then make you watch. It'll be funny. I'm going to make it hurt so good.
Joker and Zaz rushed each other. I need your mark. I need it. I have your mark. Oh, my skin, it screams. It screams in my ears. The Joker's mark. I need it.
I'll leave my mark all right. I'll leave so many marks that you won't have any skin left.
No! Oh, you're ruining. No, stop! You festering little piggy! I'll kill you! I'll kill you! Joker took the upper hand. Zaz went limp on the ground, bleeding.
Changed my mind. I'm gonna start from the top, puke face. Let's put a smile on that face. Don't run away, my little pretty. I just want to show you the business end of my knife. Get back here, now! Come here! You think you can run away? You think you can leave the Joker behind in your wake of miserable miscreant tales? I'll show you what I can really do. Get back here, you mangling mook. You garnet. You miserable coward. You think you can master my masterful craft? Let me show you what I can really do. Come here. Come here.
Jim grabbed the gun, sending the Joker flying to the ground.
But, Batman, are you all right?
I'm fine. The body armor, it stopped most of the damage.
You got to get away. If the police find you, you'll be arrested. This is Commissioner Gordon. I need medical assistance at 3441 Addison. Officer Bullock has been shot. 2 others in need of medical assistance. Multiple stab wounds. Repeat, medical assistance needed at 3441 Addison.
I woke up in Gotham General, my whole body aching from being shot twice by that lunatic, the Joker.
Bullock, you still kicking?
It'll take more than a bunch of psychos to keep me down.
Good to hear it.
Any word on Zaz and Joker?
They're both alive. The Joker's headed back to the asylum, and Zaz is gonna stand trial if I have anything to say about it.
I wish those scumbags would have died. Would have made it a whole lot safer in this town.
That's why we need you around, to help keep Gotham's scumbags in check.
You're right, Jim.
What is it, Bullock?
Everyone needs someone to keep them in check. Even us. We nearly died because you trusted the Batman. We could have had a squad with us, but you wanted to protect the Batman. You put us in danger because of him. I can't let that happen again to me or anyone else. I've looked away in the past, turned my head the other way when you've dealt with the Batman. Because I trusted you, Jim.
You still can.
It ain't that simple no more. You need to follow the rules as much as anyone else. And if that means I have to keep you in check, then that's the way it is.
It's Gotham. Things are never black and white.
It is when people's lives are at stake. There ain't no two ways about it. I won't say anything about it this time, out of respect for our friendship. But if you work with the Batman again, I'm gonna have to report it. I'm sorry, Commish, but that's the way...
Understood, Detective. We all have to do what we think is right. I see now that we have different means for protecting the city. Get some rest, Detective.
Yes, sir.